Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I decided to make a short video on some escargot, a land-dwelling mollusk, but it is in a tin. So I decided, since this is one of my favorite treats for myself, maybe I'd talk about it a little bit, take some of the mystique out of it. Some people get grossed out. Some people think it's a little too bougie for them. I'm gonna show you a way of making it with just a few ingredients. So here we have the Maitre Jacques, just kidding, Maitre Jacques, escargot, product of France, pre-cooked helix snails, 12 giant ready-to-use snails. Serving size 6 pieces, there are 2 servings, so you get 12 giant snails, making 2 giant servings. Amount per serving, 50 calories. Total carbs, 1 gram. This is great for keto. Protein, 10 grams for 6 pieces. That's pretty impressive. Ingredients, snails, water, salt, spices, and natural flavors. I love the natural flavors of snails, so that's great. And this is a product of France, one of my favorite places. Best by date printed on can. Oh my goodness, let's check. Ooh, okay, so we're good. May of 2021. We're good. We're good, people. This gives a little recipe for you. Snails in white wine sauce. I will not be following this recipe. I am going to have a simpler recipe. Let's dip right in. Let's see what these bad boys look like. Honey, would you pass me a fork, please? Ooh. So, we look at the contents of the container. This works out nicely. Here's one here. These are giant, and they do indeed look ready to use.
So these bad boys look big and juicy?
Here we go. That's just a few of them out of the can. I am going to saute these puppies in parsley, chopped garlic, butter, and if I have some white wine lying around, I might throw a splash of that in there too. Thanks for the help, ladies. So this is just about everything you're gonna need. Some butter, parsley, and garlic. The more the merrier. You may want to add a splash of white wine. Here we go. Gonna add a little olive oil. I'm just eyeballing it. We're gonna start sauteing the garlic. I'll go ahead and add some of the parsley in. We'll add the escargot. I'm gonna saute them on low. Add some butter. I've cooked these many times throughout the years. I've even done it with like putting them right in the ramekin and just started to bake. But I find rinsing them first and sauteing them for 5 or 10 minutes gets rid of that overly earthy taste. I always use a timer because I always get distracted. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit more. I'm gonna saute this until it starts to look right to me. Adding a splash of white wine into the mix. Just give it a little time to cook down. As you can see, it's creating this nice colored sauce here with the butter and the olive oil and the garlic, and the parsley's breaking down and almost making this like a creamy sauce, and it's really gonna add to the flavor. Alright, I can already tell by the way things are looking. I probably just need a few minutes on this. So I'm about to transfer these into the ramekins. Here we go. So here we have the ramekins. I filled with each of them a little square of butter, and I also put the remaining parsley that I had on there. When all of this parsley and garlic and butter break down together with some of the juices from the cooking, creates this great sauce that we're going to use to dip our baguettes or any bread you have around the house that's a little bit toasted in, and it's going to be amazing. So into the oven it goes, and at 350 degrees I'm gonna go ahead and put it in for probably 7 minutes, and I'll just check on it. And if it's bubbling at the top and cooked nicely, then I'm just gonna take it out and I'm gonna call it a day. Okay, here you have it. So these are fresh out of the oven. This is the indicator I like to use to tell that they're ready. You see, like, it's kind of gotten bubbly and frothy around the edges where the butter is cooked well. These are ready to plate up and serve. All right, so here we have it. This is the escargot. This ramekin is still piping hot. You can see the little chunks of parsley and garlic and butter in here. So we'll go ahead and put this on a little baguette I picked up at the local bakery. And we'll see how this turned out. I like to get a little bit of the juices, a little bit of the parsley. Take a look. Let's give it a shot. Yes. Very, very tasty, meaty. You just still have that earthy, natural flavor. You still have the nice chew that you have with most other shelled fish. I know this is not a fish, but that's what makes this unique. Yes, this is great. This, again, let me get you a close up. It's a very delectable treat. A savory delight, one might say. Get close up again here. Take another bite, and she goes. It's a nourishing little nugget of love. So good, so tasty. You want a whole baguette just to dip it in the butter sauce here. What do you think, girls?
I like it.
Apparently they've been considered an elite food for like 2,000 years, and there is a reason for it. I think it's roughly between $7 and $9 a can. The recipe I showed you was pretty easy. There are ways to make it a little more complex, but I think this is probably the simplest and fastest way to have a superior restaurant quality product in your own home. I hope you found this fun and educational, or enlightening at the very least. If you like this video, share and subscribe for more videos. If you have any comments of any kind, any feedback you want to give, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much. What do you think, girls? Do you think Vic would like this? Have a good night.